Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer and this is the UK Northern Powerhouse on Transport Fever 2. This is going to be episode number 73 in the series, and in this episode we're going to be continuing with HS2 up towards Manchester Airport, and we'll see how far we can get. Basically, we've just passed over the Crewe North Junction, which we built in the last episode. I haven't really done too much. I've just done a little bit of, well, I call it detailing with the retaining walls, just to make it look a little bit nicer, and a little bit of work with the paintbrush as well, just to make it look better. Basically, materially it hasn't changed, physically it hasn't changed. This is what we did in the last episode. I have also off camera extended HS2 now down south towards Stafford, so the line then, it's just a bit of plain line, so did that off camera, nothing particularly exciting, and then built a station down here which I've just called HS2 South. It should probably be HS2 South. No, we can, yeah, because the eastern station is only going to be as far south as East Midlands Parkway, so we don't need to worry about that too much. I'll put a rapid bus link in between the station and Crewe station. I guess quickly just before, I think I would like a stop maybe around here as well, just by Stafford. So if we go, where's our buses? That one. So it's the HS2 South Stafford shuttle, so it wants to go there. Oh no, I don't want a new line, I want to add stop, please. Add station stop. So I'll add that one and that one on the return, and then that just goes to Stafford station. So yeah, what it's done is allowed me to put some trains on, so just to test them basically. So I've got a China Railways, a CR400 somewhere, probably waiting at Crewe. Yeah, I've got a CR400 there, which is capable of 217 miles per hour, and I've got the ABG on there as well. Is that in the station? No, where is it? Somewhere. There it is, waiting to get into Crewe. That's capable of 186 miles per hour, but I've just, having looked at them going up and down the line between Crewe and Stafford, they're getting up to about 120 miles per hour, which isn't massively, it's not the best speed, but it's this particular journey from Stafford HS2 South to Crewe isn't that long really, and they do have to slow down for the grade separated junction. So I'm hoping trains which are going straight through to Manchester Airport might be able to achieve a slightly better speed. So yeah, we'll just see, basically, see what comes, see what happens. So before we get onto the building, I just want to, what do I want to do? I want to name some trains. The Tier 1 members get trains named after them every 10 episodes, so that's what we're going to do. So I want all my trains, let's see, ones which we haven't yet named, so we've named quite a few already. We'll go, what's this one here? An East Midlands, not an East Midlands, London North Eastern Railway, that's the one. This one can be the, what can this be? Trying to have a look. This one can be the Transport Fever World Express, that one. And then have we got any other nice ones? What have we got? I'm just basically looking for the expression, the 125 miles per hour, the nice trains basically. Now what's this one? Transpennine Express 802. This can be the Ika Express, the Rose Expresses. Look for another 802. Have the Adam Express, and then something a little bit different. Let's mix it up a little bit. What have we got that hasn't been named yet? We've got this Grand Central train, which we can name after our new patron, new Tier 1 patron, Bowler Express, or the Bowler Gaming Express. Good, so there we go, got those named. Now we can get on to the challenging build, which is going to be getting the bit between Crewe and Manchester Airport. First things first. Now I have had a dry run at this, and this is also my second attempt at recording this, because I did experience a little bit of a game crash once. I was doing something around a bridge and the game just decided to crash, which is a little bit of a pain. So third time's a charm, I think. Let's see if we can get this done. So what we need to do is we need to put this station in, which is fairly straightforward. So let's just put that in there. There. Am I happy with that? Probably not, but yeah, we'll go with that. Because all I'm thinking is we need to get this track into a tunnel at some point. So I'm not entirely sure if it goes under the Mid-Cheshire line or the Manchester Metro, but at this stage I think I'm just going to have to put it into a tunnel, just because of the space constraints around this area. You remember this, if you watched the Manchester Metro episode, this was a little bit of a challenge trying to get the 56 and the M6, no, the M56 and everything into some sort of alignment with each other. So we will go straight into a tunnel under the Mid-Cheshire line, just to keep things a little bit simpler. And not too worried about the speed, because I'm pretty sure that every service, or Although saying that, that is pretty, that's pretty poor, isn't it? It is. Maybe try and make that on a little bit less of a curve. So if you come out of there to about there, we can start going uphill a little bit, maybe not so much as that, because you do get those horrible, and it changes between the station and the track, don't you? So let's, if we put that onto there, see what that's done. Yeah, I think I can work with that. You'll see why it's important in a minute. And then 55 is still slow, but again, I think all the servers will be slowing down to stop at the station anyway, so I think we'll have to live with it. Well, I was saying no, we won't. No, we're going to try for a little bit faster. The problem is we can't have switches on within the tunnel entrance, can we? Because that will just look rubbish. So if we bring it down until it starts producing a tunnel, then go into a cut-in, and then we'll do our tunnel portal with the new concrete one. 130, I think we'll look a bit faster. I want to come up as well. 100 and yeah, and then we want to come out to the tunnel portal to about there, and then swing that in. 48, really? Because I'm just concerned that if there are any non-stop trains, that I don't want them really to be slowing down too much. But then again, we've got to, I don't know, it's just tricky with basically with the space constraints that we've got to work with. Basically, it is what it is. Now, I don't think there are any bypass lines through the new proposed station, because they have changed the plans a little bit. I think they've increased the number of platforms that are going to be at the Manchester Airport station, and that's gone with the older looking tunnel portal, which is not what we want. So right, let's put this track back in again, making sure we get rid of every single last piece. So bring that down until it starts generating a tunnel, and then put it in a cut-in. Probably get it a little bit closer to there. 100, yeah, good. Then we'll put our tunnel in with the new approach, the new portal, just looking where Manchester is, so it does need to curve out a little bit. Yes, the speed is probably going to be higher than that in real life, but yeah, we are working to the constraints basically. Maybe let's see if I can do that. No, I can't do that. That's ugly. What about to there? And then can I just bring it out a little bit? Still going quite slow, but what I think I'll do is, if there are any services which don't stop at Manchester Airport, they'll go down these two platform tracks here, because they're the quickest. And then any services which are stopping, which will go onto these platforms here, like so. So that's that bit done. The next challenging bit is getting this over the M56 and away from the Mid Cheshire line. Don't need to worry about the collision too much because we're using this. Can I bring this down over the M56? 106, maybe a little bit, maybe bring it up a bit. 120, right, that will have to do, I think. Get the bridge over the 56, get that linked up. These, yeah, it's maybe, no, I can't get rid of that now. Yeah, we'll have to live with that sort of speed that we're achieving through there, I think, and then connect that up to there. Good, right. So the next tricky bit is this junction here. So I want to try and get it away. Maybe I think we're gonna have to move the mid-Cheshire, because basically off camera, pause the game, I did a little bit of work with the M56 and the Mid-Cheshire line. So I moved limb interchange a bit further west, and I moved the Mid-Cheshire line a little bit, but I think I'm gonna have to move it still further away from HS2. I think what I'll do actually is I might work on this junction first and worry about the Mid-Cheshire line later. So we still want some sort of reasonable speed around here. 198, I think I will take that and maybe extend this down as well with, you know, 200. If we can get up towards 200, then I'll be happy. And now I'm actually going the wrong way, aren't I? Because we need to cross the M6, which is represented by this dual carriageway here. So if I bring this track out, we might actually be able to get a reasonable speed. I'm going to use this here, bring it down, take that, and then get that connected up. And then actually, so I've done quite a considerable bit there. I'm going to actually just save the game quickly, because like I said before, we did have a little bit of a game crash. I'm not entirely sure why, a bit random, but yeah, I'm going to quickly save the game. Now the reason I'm obsessing over this particular area is because we've got something quite complicated to try and get done here. Now there is, the first complication is we need a grade separated junction which splits off from HS2 towards the Wigan West Coast main line connection. That's the first like complicated bit. We obviously it wants to be at a reasonable speed. I think probably 100 is probably as fast as we're going to get it. Maybe let's just make sure that doesn't look too ugly, and then put that in. And then this wants to go off in this sort of direction. Now let's bring it to there. Let's see what it's allowing us to achieve speed wise. 130. Bring it up. No, I want that to go up. I don't want it to be right. Okay, so we'll bring it back to here then. We're still using that bridge. What sort of speed? It's covered the speed again. Right, extend it a little bit. 140, 100 to about there, and then we'll have embankment to about there. Just have a quick look, see if we can get this across the M6, which we should be able to do, hopefully. Yeah, we can, but we want to be going a little bit quicker than that, so maybe this will have to curve a bit more towards the M6. So no, we don't want you to snap to the M6, just want you to curve towards the M6. 137, that's a bit slow. It's 198, and we can afford to go a little bit slow. It is quite a lot more curvaceous when it comes off here. It does actually curve a lot more, so I just want to see, can I get a bridge in which is, you know, a reasonable sort of speed. 130, 160, bring it down, 150. Yeah, I mean that's not slow, is it? So get across there. It is quite a long span actually, but we will take it, and then we're gonna have to jump over. I think the M6 is gonna have to. The M6 is gonna have to move again, because the junction which splits off from the junction which splits off here is between the M56 and M6 on the eastern side of it. So just want to make sure all the roads are in the sort of right place. I mean, we don't really need the M50, M6. You know, it doesn't really carry that much traffic, but it is just nice to have those, you know, have those motorways represented a little bit. So let's bring this off, and then it does get rid of a bit more of the Mid Cheshire line, and I'll probably rebuild that off camera, and then bring this down into a little bit of a cutting, just makes our life a little bit easier, and then bring that down to there like so. Bring a little bit more of this track down to meet the M6, maybe not quite so slow. Yeah, I think 190, 200 is probably the best we're going to achieve on some sections, which I guess isn't too bad. I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't even think, I'm going to all this effort, I don't even think that any trains will get up to that speed anyway, but yeah, I would like it to be a reasonable speed. We might get some more powerful, faster trains coming along. Collision, let's go with the pillarless one then. So at least if we aim for a 190 to 200, then I think I'll be happy. And again, we do have quite a long span with a little bit of glitching. Maybe we get rid of some of the M6 and then do that. That's probably a little bit better, and then we can just put some curves to connect that in. I mean, I don't know why I'm building and rebuilding the M6 all the time, but it's there, so we'll work with it. It'd be too easy just to not have it there, wouldn't it? But the M6 does curve a little bit here anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. But what I am worried about is this. It's the grade separated junctions, basically. That's what's making everything so difficult. So one, two, three. Oh, that's good. Maybe we could actually come down a little bit. Yeah, so we will take that, I think. Hopefully that should work. We're going to go with that bridge. Can we get over that? Now, I'm pretty certain that at this stage, does that look like it would be on a single bridge going over the M56? Yeah, but obviously we haven't got the space for that given the scale, so we'll take that, I think. Is it ugly? It is a little bit. Can I just get that connected? Oh, it's not letting me do a bridge now. Okay, we'll take embankment. Just take a look. It is, as long as it's not kind of glitching over the side, I'm not massively worried. But yeah, I think that's as good as we're going to get, isn't it? It is a little bit of a roller coaster. A lot of a roller coaster, but given the space constraints, and that's glitching through the catenary as well, which isn't good. So we'll take it from here over there. Hopefully if we use that bridge, it'll give us a little bit better speed, and click on that, bring that down just until the point where it starts to touch the catenary masts, and then maybe a little bit slower actually. Yeah, what's that looking like? Is that touching? Just maybe up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind if it's... No, I do mind if it's touching the catenary mast, actually. Now, can I get this over here? 100... Ooh, what's that saying in that little 74? That's a bit rubbish. What if I extend it out 80? And then if I delete that, can I just go straight into HS2, the core line, without it looking rubbish or glitching, which it seems to be alright. Now, that doesn't actually look too bad. Now, the issue is... I think we're going to have to delete those two bits of track there, right, and then, because I don't know actually don't know where HS2 crosses the Mid Cheshire line. So maybe if we get rid of those two bits of track, so I think we'll, okay, reconnect those two, like so, and then take a look at this. So, I think I'm going to have to maybe move the limb interchange again. I'm pretty sure it crosses the Mid Cheshire line around here, which you can see could potentially be a bit of a challenge. But having said that, if I have this bridge over here, which is a little bit higher, so keep it quite high, bring in on that bridge again, that one. So keep it relatively high, and then can that just come up to meet that one? This might work. And then can I, there's a collision. Oh, is that going to let me? Oh, it's not going to let me delete any of it. Right, can I meet it without having, well, that's not too bad. I think, yeah, so we'll take that for now. Good. Right, now what? We'll get some track underneath here. Can I bring this track up a little bit? A little bit more? No, just that was, overcooked that a little bit. So something like that. No catenary, thank you very much. So if you have a little tiny stub of track, curve it underneath HS2 like that, and then connect that up. No, that's the wrong side. Connect that up to Altrincham Station, and then can I get over the M6 or the M56? I can. Good. I think we'll go with something, one of the older, something like that, vanilla one. Bring that down. Is that going to let us down? Where's the Mid Cheshire line? It's there. So it is. Can I? So much going on around here. Right, can I get this under anywhere else? So maybe if I do it like this, over too much slope. Collision or too much slope. We haven't got many options. Why is that saying that? No, what? It's right. It's going to have to be done in two individual sections. Okay, come down then. I want to come up until we start colliding with that, like so. Good. And then, no, why are you doing that? Why are you doing this to me? Maybe I went up a little bit too high then. Because you can see what I've got to do. I've got to get underneath HS2 and over the M56. No, stop it. I mean, it is a little bit close to the bridge, but it's not like ridiculous, is it? Okay, get that in. That, good. Now that's looks a bit too low to get over the 56. Right, so I'm going to have to rebuild the limb interchange again. I know the limb interchange is a partial, no, it's not a cloverleaf. I'm not sure what sort of junction it is. I think it's a partial stack, isn't it? But in this instance, we are having it as just a roundabout, just because building junctions on Transport Fever 2, I know they've gone to the effort of improving it a little bit, but it's not, junctions don't always turn out that amazing, if I'm honest. We'll get that connected up, get some road, get the 56 back in. That's a little bit lower, I think, is it? Don't think it's low enough. Maybe if I do the outside track first, like that, maybe can I press N just to dip it under? Ooh, that might have done it. It might be a little bit roller coaster like. Just, okay, get rid of the bridge, put the track in, and then let's see if I can put this. This is probably not going to let me. Maybe can I, like, thread in through the eye of the needle, isn't it? Right, put the bridge back in. I didn't think this would be the trickiest part, if I'm honest. And then come up until about there, chuck that in, last attempt now. And then can we get over the, I don't think we can get over the 56, but we'll try. Oh, we might be able to. Let's use a different bridge. Good, we've got it, I think. A little bit slow. Can we go any quicker? No, we can't, because we've got to get over the, what will be the M6 then. Let's, maybe if we move, just one last move of the limb interchange roundabout thing. Get rid of that roundabout. A little further south. Bring it down maybe a little touch like that. Put that in. And then curve what should be the M6 onto there, and then I'll worry about the rest of it later, connecting all that up. I just want to get these little bits in first. So let's get across the M56, isn't it? Yes. Collision. Yes, it's collider. Okay, let's use something else. Okie dokie. I think we're almost getting there. And then over here to Mid Cheshire line. Right. Let's just. I think for now I'm just going to chuck this in with that bridge. Connect that up, and then I'm gonna delete some of this track because I just don't want it to be bridge all the way. I would prefer it to be on an embankment. I think it's pretty more accurate. Now that was pretty difficult in itself, but the next tricky part is the bit. So we've got this junction here. This is the bit that goes to Wigan. Obviously that's the bit that goes to Manchester Airport, but there is also within the plan, the revised plans, passive provision for a HS2 HS3 connection, which would allow for services to call at services from Liverpool to go to London, basically. So instead of going current plan for HS2 classic battle services to go from Liverpool via Runcorn and Crewe, get on HS2 there, but there is also plans afoot with HS3 for HS3 to be built from Liverpool, obviously across to Manchester and then on to Leeds, but there's also going to be a junction which allows services to go Liverpool onto HS2 and then via Crewe that way, and theoretically, because it's higher speed between Liverpool and Warrington, it'll be a little bit quicker, but we've got to kind of get a junction in around here somewhere, which is all going to start to look a little bit silly. And I've also forgotten about the passive provision for HS2 to HS3 services, so can I explain this without... So basically we want a line which I reckon, if there's a HS3 going to be built, it's going to be Liverpool, going to be Warrington West, it's going to cross the River Mersey, cross the West Coast Main Line around here somewhere, and cross the M56, and then it's going to hook up to HS2 around here. So we want a southbound junction for Liverpool to London services, and we want a northbound junction as well for Liverpool to Manchester services. So there's a lot going on in such a tight space. So I think I'm going to get rid of this junction, as nice as it looks, because it's not the end of the world if we don't do it, but I would like to try and get HS3 in with all its accurate junctions. I mean, there are plans for the passive provision, so it is a step forward and it does make the construction more likely, but basically what we need, I might even have to possibly go for a flat junction. So I'll put a flat junction in here, and that will be for the Liverpool to Manchester services. This is a little bit slow. Right, so what I'll do is I'll put the passive provision in for HS2, for HS3 rather, and then we went to all that effort of building this junction, this piece of track rather, and yeah, we're demolishing it. So come over there, probably come up as fast as you can. What sort of speed are we getting? 169, that's not too bad. Maybe a little bit slower, just to give a bit of flexibility. So I think I'll build it all on bridges for now, just so I can kind of see how everything orientates. Then this has got to go under or over or around, and it's just crashed again. Oh no, it hasn't. Thought it crashed. Then maybe under. Is that going to do it? Possibly not. Don't know. So that's the passive revision. It's probably, I can't imagine them building a flat junction anywhere along the HS2 route, to be honest. But I think in this particular instance, I think we're going to have to build a flat junction for this particular connection. But yeah, it is very, very, very complicated. At least we've got a bit more room, so I think we're going to have to... Oh, is that there actually? Yeah, it does. HS2 crosses HS3 around here somewhere. So can I collision? Why are you going? What's going on there? Let's point this in the sort of direction. There is no... Oh, there is a collision. Okay, let's go with... Let's cheat a little bit. Okay, it looks a bit rubbish, but I will endeavour to fix it later on. I think I just want to get this route within this episode. So we've gone over HS3 spur there. Delete that back a little bit. Start to curve in towards HS2, coming down. I might even come in with pillars manually or something later on. I just want to get this kind of in and done. And then if I could bring this down towards HS2, what sort of speed are we getting there? What's it saying on the switch? 125. Yeah, I think I will live with that. Yeah, it does look hideous. We will. I just want to try and get this in, and so I can kind of almost demonstrate what I'm trying to explain. But I'm explaining it really poorly, aren't I? So we'll bring this down. So this is the Wigan branch. Just come down as quick as you can. Bridge pillar collision. Okay, push this back a little bit more then. Can I come down to HS2 like so? Put a reasonably quick switch in. Would prefer something a little bit quicker. Maybe if you come from this end first. Usually provides you with a better sort of speed. So yeah, it looks pretty ugly. It will be fixed off camera, but just want to try and get this in, and then we'll do HS3 will come along here somewhere. Probably wants to curve a little bit more actually towards, yeah, we'll just chuck that in for now. I'm gonna have to do a lot of fixing. So I'm assuming it comes south of the River Mersey, and then I'm reckoning there's going to be a new Warrington West station here somewhere. That's my guess anyway. And then from there, can I build a junction without this looking really, really bad? Might have to... No, that's not going to work at all, is it? I think I'm going to have to compromise with this one as well, am I? I reckon I'm going to have to do another... They're going to let me? They're going to let me? another flat junction, which is going to have to be quite slow in order to actually to do everything we need it to do. But if we put that into there, can we get this in and connect? No, we can't. Move this a little bit. Actually, am I doing it in the right place? Probably not is the answer to that, but I think it's, given the scale, I think it's just going to be too difficult to do what I want. So yeah, we've got the bare bones of it in. We've got Manchester Airport. This was a little bit easier than I thought, which is good. So this is the tunnel which goes off. We'll build this, I guess, before I wrap up, over towards Manchester, staying in a tunnel all the way towards Manchester. Now this is another little tricky bit, and I delete a bit more of this tunnel. Now it does actually bear off quite severely, but at the same time I want a sort of reasonable sort of speed. So it bears off at almost like a right angle and goes eastwards. So let's try and replicate that a little bit. It's going to have to be again quite slow, considering it's a high speed line. Not entirely sure what the sort of speed would be with the finished line, but again, most of the services should be slowing down anyway as they come into Manchester Airport. So I want this track, obviously I want it to be in a tunnel, but I don't want it to be so deep that we can't get back up to the surface to come towards Manchester. So we will just connect this little bit up, and then where is Manchester Piccadilly? It is there, so it's still might have to do something with this road, I think. So we want to stay in a tunnel, but in a relatively shallow tunnel. Wants a reasonable sort of speed, and I think we will leave it at that for today. So we've got quite a bit in. This junction here is just, it's pretty difficult. I think I might do maybe a time lapse, but it is quite difficult to do this sort of junction with a let's play style. But I wanted to kind of demonstrate at least a little bit what is proposed, really. So we've got the grade separated junction, goes to Wigan. We've got the Manchester Airport branch, Manchester branch. You've got the passive provision for HS2, which is going to be the Liverpool Manchester, and it basically what it does, it goes Liverpool, I'm guessing Warrington West, and then on to HS2, and actually uses part of HS2 to kind of reduce the cost of HS3. So the tunnel underneath Manchester, which is going to be hugely expensive, basically services from Liverpool will use the HS2 tunnel, go to Manchester Piccadilly, and then I'm guessing as the plans stand, as HS2 station is a terminus, trains will turn around, reverse, and then go towards Leeds. Basically, I think that's the sort of plan. But as you can see, there is a lot of work to do around here, which is all very complicated. So yeah, flat junctions I think is going to be the compromise, and then we've got the HS3 southern connection for Liverpool to London services via HS2. So I'm going to leave it there for today. I know it's not, we haven't done a lot, but it is incredibly complicated given the constraints. So I'm going to leave it there anyway for today. I might do a little time lapse of me finishing this off, which will go out in a week or so, and I'm going to leave it there for today anyway. So until next time, bye bye.